this week on the first run, Dave and I got to see Furious 7, which is the, I don't know, is it the penultimate? Is it the ultimate chapter? Are we done with the Fast and Furious series?
I'm guessing that's a no.
It's just going to be the next step into a just never-ending franchise of just car crashes and absolutely ridiculous stunts. And, well, I don't know. We'll talk
Doesn't
about
it kind of feel never-ending already?
At times it does. We're also going to tell you what's coming up on Blu-ray and DVD stuff coming Tuesday the 21st, and then it's going to be What Are the Odds? Don't matter what it says in the profile of this thing. It's going to be What Are the Odds this week. So normally we'd play a clip from the Fast and Furious. If I can figure that out, then hey, let's all take a break and listen to that now. All right.
The most important thing in life will always be the people right here, right now. That's what's real. Hello?
Dominic Toretto. You don't know me. You're about to.
Who did this?
Remember Owen Shaw? This is his big bad brother. He's a special forces assassin. They created a monster.
Looks like the sins of London have followed us home. We're being hunted.
Shaw lives in a world that doesn't play by your rules. And like it or not, you and your friends are a part of it now.
I don't have friends. I got family. This time it ain't just about being fast.
All right. So Furious 7. So if everybody remembers Furious 6, this was when we had to go to, what was it, Europe and stop a thief from stealing something.
Right.
And we end up putting that guy, I say we, like everybody talks about their favorite sport team. Mm-hmm. I'm a member. I'm like my Yankees. It's the same thing. I feel the same way about this franchise. And so we go to Europe and we beat up this thief, put him in a coma or he's in a hospital, whatever. And now what turns out is his older brother, played by Jason Statham, is a complete and total badass. And he's really upset. So he's decided that he is going to hunt us all down, you and me included, Dave, and get his revenge.
I don't want Jason Statham to hunt me down.
No. For tiny little English guys, he's one of the more badass ones.
Yes.
So this is basically then as our heroes, our family, as we, if you will, because it says get beat over the head. They're not friends, Dave.
No, they're family.
They're family. And they have to survive and beat this guy so they can finally live the lives they want. Dave, so we teased the opening there for the Furious 7. How do you feel? Do you want to see a Furious 8, or do you think, you know what, let's just wrap it up here. This is a nice way to end it, and we're done.
I sat in the theater, and I had a fairly good time. This is a big, dumb action movie, just like Furious 6 was, or I don't even remember the name of the last one. Was it Furious 6? Fast and the Furious 6?
Sure.
Okay. The last one was a big, dumb action movie. This one was a big, dumb action movie. I got to say, I am getting sick of getting beat over the head with that whole family thing because I feel like that's been going on now for many, many movies. And like I'm ready for a new theme to appear if they're going to, continue with Vin Diesel. But as far as stupid action movies go, a lot of shit exploded in this, and that was pretty cool.
It's true. And if only they were giant robots, then I think you would have been all set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was okay.
Yeah, it was all right. I can't say it's better than Part 6.
No, I would agree. I don't think it is better than Part 6.
But at least it didn't have that car jump through the nose of the airplane on the never-ending runway.
Yes, jumping from building to building in Abu Dhabi was much more realistic.
or the jumping out of the plane.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind that as much as I minded the never-ending runway from Part 6. That still really bothers me because that thing ran forever.
Yeah, it was like a 10-minute long runway.
But yeah, you're right. That jumping from building to building was kind of nuts.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a big spectacular action movie. I think for what it is, they pull it off fairly well. I would have loved to see this movie get cut down to like an hour and 40 or 50 minutes. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, which I feel is a bit long. There's a bit too much of Vin Diesel just talking about how, we're a family and family means everything. And I live my life a quarter mile at a time. That's what I used to think anyway. But now I'm in a family.
That's right. And
we got family.
And
like, fuck your family. Move the fuck on.
I think part of the reason why they drive that home so much too is unfortunately the early passing of Paul Walker.
Yes.
And I have to admit, I was going in expecting some big climactic thing where Walker sacrificed. Spoiler, I guess the movie's been out for 3 weeks and it's made almost $1 billion. But so I was expecting him to have some big climactic thing where he sacrifices himself to save everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, everything works out fine.
Yeah. And then, but they kind of do like a ode to Paul Walker at the end of the movie anyway.
Did you see that like was making the rounds online and on YouTube and stuff where people are treating, and maybe I'm just a heartless bastard, but it was like this big emotional send off and it was really like emotionally impacting people. I don't know if I'm just a cold bastard, but I'm like, I'm sorry.
You are a cold bastard.
I'm sorry Paul Walker is dead. All right. He seemed like a nice guy. I think he was great in that movie. What was that movie where he played the guy that fell in with the gangsters and a lot of it took place in a hockey rink near the end? Running Scared. He was actually pretty good in that. That was actually a reasonably good film. But I don't know. I felt like it was, I don't know if it just drew out too long for me. I don't know what it was. And you could tell too, finally, when they said they only had a few scenes left to film with him, and you know exactly when that is.
Yeah, that's hard to pull off. Frankly.
It's the fight scene with Tony Jaa and through this building, which I think was really well choreographed. I have to admit. But you can tell the way the lighting is and everything that's clearly not Paul Walker. But or every now and then they would digitally put his face on the guy or his head or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I was hoping for a more heroic, sacrificial kind of send off for Walker.
In a way, though, I'm glad they didn't do that. Like, I'm glad they didn't just make him like change the movie to make him like die in the movie. To show that he died in real life. Like, I don't know. That would have bothered me more somehow. Like, oh, he died in real life, so now we've got to kill him in this movie.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I think you might be right.
That would have been weird.
You're right. I'm entirely wrong on that point. You're entirely right. All right, I retract my entire previous statement.
I wish you would do that more. I really think you should make a policy of this. Move ahead with this policy.
No, I can't because I'm rarely ever wrong. One thing I think this film desperately needed too, that really bothered me that it didn't have, is I wanted more Dwayne Johnson. I did not get enough Rock for my taste.
Yeah, what you got though was pretty good, I thought.
It was, but it wasn't enough. They did a great little. I don't know if you saw his SNL guest appearance, his hosting thing, but he was great on SNL. Probably the best episode of the season. And they did this opening thing where they call him Franchise Viagra, where he shows up and reinvigorates all these franchises. I just wished he had a larger part in this film, except for fighting Statham, which I think he would level Statham without a doubt. And then in the end, just carrying around the big gun and then shooting stuff. I wanted more for him to do in this film. I don't know.
He basically is absent for the entire middle portion of this movie.
And I think that's a major mistake.
Yeah. More Rock is always better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't get enough Rock.
To answer my first question, I think for me, the franchise has run its course. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I
thought I was good after one.
Yeah. Considering how horrible this series started, that it is able to somehow rejuvenate and become this actually entertaining, if not patently ridiculous franchise. And this is just more of the same of that. And it's very well done, but like you said, it's entertaining and it's dumb as hell. But I don't know. I think I'm all set. I think the climax in LA was just preposterous. You have a drone flying through the streets of Los Angeles. That
was a badass drone, too.
It was, but come on. Here's the thing. You can't really review or discuss a film like this because it's made to be this just gigantic, insane kind of film that defies the laws of physics every chance it gets.
Do you like explosions? Do you love your family? Then come see Fast 7.
That really is the market they're going for.
Yeah.
I think I'm all set.
I thought it was hilarious how at the beginning of the movie, Vin Diesel like tumbles down like a several 100-foot cliff and like walks out and brushes himself off, you know? And then later in the movie, in an almost identical car, he falls about 10 feet in that car and nearly dies.
Because he's got that parking garage coming down all around him, right? Isn't that what it is?
I don't know. It looked like he kind of tried to jump up at the helicopter and like, you know, do his thing. And he fell about 10 feet and then died.
Yeah.
Or almost died.
Yeah, and I just, you're right. You know what? I take that back that this was not as, no, it is just as crazy as the last one. I can't imagine what they can do next outside of Furious 8 in space. I'm not quite sure what's left for them to do at this point.
I will buy that movie ticket right now. I don't know. I mean, I had fun watching the movie. I would have liked to see him cut it a bit, you know, just to make it a slightly tighter experience. But I find it somewhat interesting that they're able to keep like coming up with new and creative car chases.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I just, I can't. I don't know. Fine. What are you going to tell the kids at home?
If you liked the last one, you'll probably like this one too.
I think that's the only way what you can really say. There's no. It's not like it's going to. We're not seeing any Oscar noms this year, and I think Vin Diesel may have said that initially when he was talking about this film.
What's that?
That it probably would get some Oscar nominations.
Really?
I don't know for what, but
most uses of the word family.
That's right. If the Family Association ever needed an action film to get behind, this is definitely the one.
This is the one.
I don't know if I mean, if it's big budget and there's really nothing else like it out right now. So if this is what you're in for, then I just say definitely go check it out. But outside of that, I don't think there's anything else really driving you to see it.
Yeah, if you love Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift, you're definitely going to want to check this one out too.
That's right. There's a lot of callbacks to the fans of that film.
There's a lot of callbacks to like, you know, the first few films, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely one for the fans. So thanks for that. Thanks for keeping them come out to these damn things. If you've seen Furious 7 over here, thought, shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Dave, April 21st. This is what's coming up on Blu-ray and DVD, but first off, we have a new sponsor.
All right.
It's called Sexy Strings.
Sexy Strings. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, I don't understand quite why they think we're their target audience, but I'm going to read you the copy anyway. Whatever. They're paying the bills. So, hello, ladies. Tired of meeting that special guy on that special night? It's an evening of magic and romance. Unfortunately, it's that time of the month. What do you do? How do you make that sexy? Well, I've got news for you. Sexy String tampons. They come in a wide variety of colors. Hot pink, seductive purple, naughty black, mysterious smoky gray. Then we have our celebrity options. There's the Kardashian Kahlua, Lohan Love, Britney Spears Sugar Pop, and of course the all-time favorite Liam Neeson's Irish Clover. Sexy Strings. Find them today online and at your local Pep Boys. All right. So first up, we have taken.
Order some of those Liam Neeson sexy clovers. Get some of those for the wife.
There you are. So Taken 3 coming out with Blu-ray Ultraviolet, passing an unrated cut, so you can see all the incredible stuff that they left on the cutting room floor. There's also a deleted scene and some other featurettes. Taken 3. I may watch Taken 3 unrated if it's on Netflix just to see the extra violence, but that would be it.
Yeah, I would do that. I like the Taken movies. They got kind of worse as they went, but you know, on Netflix, I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. This is, I think, one of the first, if not the first, film to come out of Iran. And it's basically a spaghetti western version of a vampire film. It's supposed to be rather interesting, based on a graphic novel. Includes behind-the-scenes documentary and some deleted scenes. I'm anxious to see this. I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah,
but hopefully,
you said it came out of Iran.
Yeah. Huh. So yeah, Everly is being released. It's kind of Salma Hayek's version of Taken. I don't know if she's an ex-badass or whatever, but some people try and attack her in her apartment, and she kicks everyone's ass.
Sounds good. I'll watch that.
There you go. It features commentary by the director, Joe Lynch. Cake, a film that was supposed to be really not that good, but feature a really great performance from Jennifer Aniston. It takes us, Cake takes us into the darkly funny world of Claire Bennett, who's Jennifer Aniston, who initiates a dubious relationship with a widower played by one of my favorites, Sam Worthington, while confronting fantastical hallucinations of his dead wife, played by Anna Kendrick. So that's coming out on Blu-ray. You can check out Jennifer Aniston and that. Criterion has given us The River. It's the first color film from Jean Renoir. Includes an all-new high-definition digital transfer, as well as a bunch of an archival introduction by Renoir himself, a 60-minute 2008 documentary about the film, interview in 2004 with Scorsese about the influence the film had on him as well. So you can check that out from them. Escape from New York. Everybody loves little Snake Plissken. Kurt Russell in one of his most iconic roles, getting a special edition release from Stream Factory. There's an all-new 2K high-definition transfer, an all-new audio commentary with the lovely Adrienne Barbeau and the director of photography, Dean Cundy. And it ports over a bunch of the features from the previous DVDs, as well as 5 or 6 new featurettes as well on the making of the film, including one on the score, which I'm a big fan of. Other stuff getting its release on Blu-ray for the first time, Dave. Biodome, so now's your chance to pick it up. Ghoulies 1 and 2. Breakin' 1 and 2. We never wonder where people come up when there's a bad sequel. They say, like, Taken 2, Electric Boogaloo. That's from Breakin' 2. Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. and Firewalker, Toxic Avenger 2, 42nd Street, and then, of course, Dollman vs. Demonic Toys. Finally getting that Blu-ray release everybody's been hoping for.
Thank God.
Your straight-to-DVD pick of the week. You know what's funny about Dollman vs. Demonic Toys? I'm not familiar with...
I have no idea what's funny about that.
If you're not familiar, there are kind of a couple B-movie... There are 2 separate B-movie franchises from a company called Full Moon. And this is back in the, late 80s, early 90s. And what's great about this film is it combines the 2 franchises, and the movie's like 62 minutes long.
Really?
It's a tight 62. And I think half of the film, too, is like flashbacks and stuff from older films, from previous films in the franchise.
This is like a fan cut, like a super cut?
I guess so. So your straight-to-DVD pick of the week, I chose just because of the title. It's called Daisy Durkins, Dog Sitter of the Damned. Daisy Durkins is an attractive college student who just needs to make a few extra bucks. What could be easier than a one-night dog-sitting gig? Nothing, unless the dog's owner is an evil wizard and his house is haunted and his dog Mookie is a demonic beast.
Oh, Mookie.
It's news of an escaped serial killer has Daisy on edge, plus some creep she wants. She went down on a blind date once, so just won't stop harassing her. So she calls some friends over for company. After much drinking and pot smoking, they break out the Ouija board, and all hell breaks loose. Beautiful babes, murderous monsters, maniacal madmen, and killer comedy abound. And the shockingly funny tale of horror and the supernatural, Daisy Durkins, Dog Sitter of the Damned. Dave, what should we be streaming this week?
I'll be honest with you. If that was on Netflix, I'd probably watch it. I'd at least watch the first 5 minutes to see what it was like. All right. Marvel's Daredevil. Chris, have you seen this? The new series on Netflix.
Let me tell you, Matt and I were going to incorporate that. Unfortunately, Matt couldn't make it this week. But we were going to talk about that. I am about 8 episodes in. How far are you?
I finished the series. And
right.
I got to say, so far, I'm really liking it.
I've
watched the whole thing now.
Right. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's occasionally maybe some of the dialogue or delivery is a little off from a little... I don't know, but I really loved it. I keep looking forward to when he actually puts the suit on. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the last episode at this point, but I've really been digging it. I think it's fantastic. What I'm really impressed by too, Dave, is how incredibly violent it is.
Yeah, it is brutal.
It is exceptionally well choreographed, the fight scenes, but it's violent and it's gory. And I'm very happy about this, that Marvel didn't really play it safe with this series.
I think it's a perfect opportunity because it's on Netflix. They can do almost anything they want with it.
And they totally could have, though, kept this in the Captain America Avengers vein, but this is on the streets, hardcore kind of violent stuff. I'm telling you, I think it's fantastic. And don't think it's because it's the violence. I'm happy Marvel is able to do this and take this step. It makes me anxious to see what they would do for a character like the Punisher. I'm curious to see the other shows that they'll be producing for Netflix as well. But they're able to do this kind of more adult fare and do it so exceptionally well. I'm very excited. I think it's great.
Yeah, I really like that. The way the episodes work too is, you've got this kind of long arc of him kind of, chasing after the main bad guy, but also each episode really kind of delves into like what it's like to be him, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And I think they bring up some stuff that I've never seen in a TV show or a movie about a comic book character that I find actually really interesting, even though it's kind of an origin story, which I'm sick of. I don't know the first thing about Daredevil, so frankly, it's a little more interesting.
Yeah, I think the show is it's just a success for me on every level. And one thing I hate though is we got to wait a year, Dave, for the next one.
Yeah,
the next season.
That is the downside of releasing an entire season all at once. Is you tend to kind of splurge on it if you like it, and then you've got a very long wait till the next one.
Exactly. So, yeah. But I'm a big fan of it, too. If anybody else has seen Daredevil, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Feedback at thefirstrun.com. All right, Dave. Let's smoothly transition into our What Are the Odds segment. If you're not familiar with this is our Vegas game when we take a couple scenarios and, see what are the odds of those things actually happening. And, of course, I keep meticulous notes on this.
That's right.
As to never go back and look at it again.
That's right.
So... I'll go ahead and start things off, Dave.
Yeah, start things off.
It's going to be actually
get it rolling.
Go
ahead,
because it goes in totally in hand with with Daredevil. And I was thinking, what are the odds, Dave, that Daredevil transcends and does get his own standalone movie at this point? What do you think what are the odds of that happening?
What are the odds of it happening? I bet that they're pretty low. I mean, at this point, I think that most would say that the Netflix series is a big success. Why mess with that success? Why bother? Do you think are you saying with the same actor and putting him in something like an Avengers movie? Is it like a bit part?
No, I'm talking I'm talking like they do the X-Files, like the whole thing with Community, 6 seasons in a movie. You do a couple seasons, and then maybe you have this one shorter arc that you want to do, and you just make a movie out of it and release it. It could be Netflix's first theatrically released film. I don't know if that's something they even want to do, but what are the odds of that happening? Where they do that, maybe do another two seasons, and then let's make a big budget. Let's put a movie up on the screen, and then we come back for more shows. I mean, what are the odds of them making his own film?
I think it's low. I'm going to go 30%.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I think that 6 seasons in a movie type of thing where they can do 3-4 seasons and then make a big blockbuster film. I don't know. Where's the money, right? I'm assuming there'd be more money in making a feature.
Well, sure. Netflix's money comes from subscriptions. So the more stuff they have on Netflix, the more money they get.
But do you think is their business model to make films, or do you think they'd never want to do that?
They can certainly make films, but their business model is to put that on Netflix,
right?
And that's a reason to subscribe to Netflix. Put it into the theater. I don't know. I mean, maybe that'd make them some money, but that's not really their way of doing things.
I'm curious if that'd be inverted.
But maybe Marvel has kind of worked that into the deal too, separately. We'll do a big theatrical release, and instead of bringing it to on demand, we'll just bring it right to Netflix once it leaves theaters.
Interesting.
Which would be big too for Netflix.
Yeah. So would you say 30% or 20%?
Yeah, 30%.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that this show's getting universal acclaim. Everybody seems to love it that watches it. I think inevitably, it's going to happen at some points. But I'll say 60% that at some point Daredevil will get his own movie because they just want to capitalize on this as much as they can. And I know Netflix has had a great last quarter, right? I think they have 8.5 million new subscribers or some crazy amount.
Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park.
But I still think there is that part of the market that maybe someday they're going to want to try and capture as well. And like you said, they'll just get the rights to it once it's out of the theater anyway. So
they're just going to re-release the Ben Affleck one to theaters.
I would not surprise me if Fox tried to capitalize on that. So I think, I know Marvel got the rights back, obviously. All right, what do you
got? So you saw the new Star Wars trailer?
I may have.
Yeah,
the trailer that stopped. The trailer that stopped work across the planet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Han Solo and Chewbacca at the end. I almost cried. All right. So you saw the new trailer. What are the odds? We've already actually asked this question, but I wanted to revisit it now that you've seen this trailer.
All right.
What are the odds this will be a bigger movie than Age of Ultron this year?
I don't remember what I said, but I think it was just a call.
Why don't you just check out your meticulous notes?
Well, it was a call-it segment.
Oh,
I think it was what I just said. Call it. This will be bigger than this. What are the odds of it actually happening now? That trailer was great. I got to tell you,
this part where the Star Destroyer crashed in the desert, that was really cool.
I was just gonna say the opening shot alone, because it reveals so much information just with that one shot.
Agreed.
I don't know. It's going to be bigger. I think it will. I think I said when to call it that it would be. I think I'm going to stick with that, and I'll give you a. I don't know. I'll say 70% that's going to be bigger than Avengers. Okay. Now I'm talking to box office run, not calendar year, since Star Wars comes out at the end of the year. You can't.
Yes, that's the only fair way to do it. You're wrong. That's way too low. 100%.
Really?
No doubt in my mind.
Wow.
I mean, there's so much hype around this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's no trailer for Age of Ultron coming out and like you said, stop and work around the world.
That's true. That's true. But I think I watched it. I think 3 times when I first saw it. I just kept salivating over it. It is really I don't know if anybody had any fears of what Abrams was doing with his franchise, they have to be put aside at this point.
I can't tell if my wife was just trolling me to get a reaction out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Or if she was really serious, but she was really pissed that Harrison Ford was back.
What?
She's like, what is that old man doing up there?
Oh, please.
I think she might have been just trolling me.
I'm curious to see what actually happens. I threw in an audible here for what are the odds. Harrison Ford said he would do the Star Wars film if he could kill off Han Solo in a heroic death at the end of the first film.
Really?
So what are the odds that actually happens?
Oh my God. Please don't kill my childhood hero. I think it's pretty low. I mean, don't you want Han Solo back for all 3 movies? But if he said that's the only way he would do it, and he's doing it, I'm going to go 50-50, I guess.
All right.
I'm going to go totally non-committal here.
I would actually go like 75% that Han dies at the end.
Oh my God.
Because I feel that Abrams knows, listen, what's the most successful franchise, the next most successful film in the Star Wars franchise? What's the best one?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire. And why? Because it's bad. It's sad. Everything goes wrong in Empire, right? They lose basically at the end of Empire.
Also, it's got the biggest surprise of any movie of all time.
Right. So I think Abrams knows that, and he wants, so I think that I think Han's going to bite it. I really do. It'll really pain me, but I think that's going to happen. All right, let me give you my actual next. What are the odds?
Okay.
Mine are all trailer focused, which I think is interesting. Dave, did you see me go apoplectic online last week about the Terminator Genesis trailer?
No.
All right. I don't know if you've seen.
And also, I don't know what apoplectic means.
I got really upset.
Okay.
For some reason, they've spoiled one of the key plot lines in this film, in this next trailer.
Really?
For no reason. There's no way anybody wanting to go see this film would now be more excited to see it because of what they've exposed.
I hate when they do that.
I am flabbergasted by this decision. I'm not going to say it now because I've warned people, don't watch the trailer, and I won't ruin it now either. But I think it's ridiculous that they've done this. So, Dave, what are the odds that I'm wrong and Terminator Genesis has not been ruined for me?
The odds that Terminator Genesis have not been ruined for you. I mean,
this reveal
frankly
hasn't ruined the movie.
I think that this movie was ruined by just
It's possible. It's quite possible.
I mean, there's nothing I've seen in any trailer for this movie gets me excited. But for them to be revealing plot points, that's bad news. Yeah. I don't know, though. Hopefully, what they're doing here is they're misdirecting.
Dave, if you've seen the trailer, there's no way maybe you're right. I can't see how that's possible, but maybe you're right.
It sounds like it's ruined the movie for you, so I'm going to go with 90%. Just based on what you're telling me, it sounds bad.
I'm telling you, if you watch the trailer, you'll have to let me know what you think. But it would have been such a reveal, I think, such an incredible moment in the film when it happens that Whatever. I don't know. I still can't wrap my head around it. So what are the odds it's been ruined for me? I don't know. I'm not going to go that high. I'll say 75% that the film that already had low expectations going in, but now I'm just so angry at the decision of the studio to do this that I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's move on before I get upset again. What do you got?
All right, so I got to see the trailer for the Jurassic World, right? The next Jurassic Park movie again.
I haven't seen the new one, so
you haven't seen the new one. So I was actually. When I first heard about this movie, I was not excited at all. Like another Jurassic Park movie, like can't we move on? Then I started to see who's starring in it, and I started to see kind of like some of kind of the cooler elements of it. And actually, I'm getting kind of excited for this movie. So here is what are the odds? What are the odds that this will be the best Jurassic Park movie?
Oh, like 10%, I think.
10%. It's that low?
Listen, I don't think Star-Lord is enough to bring this film over the top. I think the first one is one of the greatest summer blockbuster films you'll ever see, and I think it still holds up to this day.
It does. It's still good, yeah.
So I think this film could go horribly, horribly wrong. And I don't know. I'm not confident. I like Chris Pratt a lot. But I don't know. I'm not 100. I can't see how it could be better than the first one. I just don't see it.
That one scene where he's riding the motorcycle and the raptors are kind of like running next to him like they're teamed up has me a little concerned. That seems a little ridiculous, even for a movie where they bring back dinosaurs from the dead.
Right.
But Star-Lord.
So I said 10% that it'd be the best in the franchise. What do you say?
Man, the first one was really good, but this one looks like it could be fun. I'm going to go 40%. No, I'm going to go 30%. That's more reasonable. What are the chances it'll be the highest grossing?
Adjusted for income? I mean, adjusted for inflation?
Yeah.
I would say 60%.
So higher, you give it a higher percent chance of earning more money.
I think it's going to have 3D showings, too.
Is it going to have 3D showings?
I think so.
IMAX?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other one didn't, so we'll see. All right, here's my last one. Have you seen, this is contingent on you seeing it, which I don't know if you have, the new Batman versus Superman trailer that
no, I haven't
this week?
I have not.
All right.
Why don't you give me a play-by-play. So
it starts off with, basically the whole concept seems to be that Superman is here and he's a god on Earth, but he's an alien. So people are crying out for a savior. It looks like there's a bunch of people that kind of worship him as a modern day savior, really going after this Jesus parable. And that, there's Holly Hunter's in the film because we hear her voice in the trailer. And she's saying about how absolute power corrupts absolutely. So there's a bunch of people that are suspicious of Superman. And then there's a shot of Ben Affleck staring at his Batman suit. And then it's all very dark and rainy all the time. And then there's a scene when Batman's in his armor with the glowing white eyes looking up at the sky, and you see through the rain and the clouds that he's looking at Superman. And he asks Superman, do you bleed? And then he goes, because you will. Something to that effect. And then that's it, pretty much.
This sounds horrible.
My concern is that they've really not learned a damn thing about how successful Marvel has been. So, Dave, let me ask you, what are the odds that Batman versus Superman is going to be a completely dour affair?
100%. I mean, from what you just described, I haven't seen the trailer myself, but God, it just sounds. I mean, and Ben Affleck is Batman. I'm just not buying it. Like him doing that Batman voice and just. Ugh.
Let me tell you, I actually like his Batman voice better than I like. I think it's I think it's because, especially Dark Knight Rises, Christian Bale, because as the films progress, his voice gets weirder and weirder, and it gets lispier and lispier when he does the voice. I'm not quite sure. It does talk like this, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm actually going to say it's going to be completely dour. I'm going to go. You know what? I really feel I got 60% chance that it is. And if it is a complete mistake. I get the idea of doing Superman as this alien, especially in the geopolitical world we live in nowadays. I get that, but it's not right. You know, it's not this what Superman is. He's not supposed to be this gloomy kind of figure. Mm-hmm. Batman, yes, I get it, but the whole juxtaposition is that they're kind of they're opposites of each other. So I don't know. I just don't want a sad and depressed Superman versus a sad and depressed Batman all the time. I don't want
emo Superman sucks.
Yeah, I don't. The only bad Superman is from Superman 3 when he fights Clark Kent in the junkyard, which is still awesome. One of my favorite scenes. I think it was like my profile pic on a lot of different websites. It was Superman doing the shot of whiskey at the bar.
Yeah. You had that for a long time.
I love that shot. That's such a great picture. And he's shooting
a great picture.
Peanuts and blowing up all the bottles. Anyway, all right. Do you have another one?
I do. I got two more. So first, I want to go with another Age of Ultron one. What are the odds this is going to be the last Avengers movie?
What? We already know it's not. They have two more set up.
Pretty low odds then, huh?
Pretty roughly zero.
All right, let's move on to my next question. What are the chances? We know that there's a Lego movie coming out, another Lego movie. What are the chances it's going to be as good as the first one?
I'm confident. I would say 75%. And maybe the better question is, what are the odds that this one gets nominated for a goddamn Oscar like it should have last time?
Yeah, that's surprising.
So 75% for me.
75%. That sounds pretty high. I think I'm going to go lower. I'm going to say 52% because it's really hard to kind of follow up that magic.
I really appreciate you two not going with a round number, so that's good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right. I think that's good. That's solid. All right. Well, I guess that's that. If anybody has any other what are the odds, we'd love to hear them. Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Next week, Dave, I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I may actually do a double on Tuesday because it's cheapy night here. And see Child 44, which starring one of my many loves, Tom Hardy. And then do that with Unfriended, the internet horror film that is getting rave reviews. And then, so Dave, I'll let you decide which of those two you want to see.
Okay.
All right. In the meantime, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Just do a search for The First Run. Same thing on YouTube. You can watch the live stream of the show, and you can actually see what a disaster it was at the beginning of this show. Did not work well. And tonight, though I don't think I'll have the show posted in time, Sunday night at 6 o'clock every week, you have the Beastly Thoughts show, right? Of the Briar Rabbit YouTube
Beastly
channel.
Thoughts show. Yeah, we'll be doing that actually later today. That'd be fun. After I got a lot scheduled for this afternoon. We're going to sign off on this show. I got to quickly take at least a 2-hour nap, and then get up, wake up, get some coffee, get some beer, and do the Beastly Thoughts show.
It's a good combo. Do you put them both in the same cup?
That's a good idea.
Maybe I'll find some time and I'll heckle you guys in the Beastly Thought show. I did a couple weeks ago. I was monitoring and commenting, and all my comments were ignored, which I get. That's fine.
That wasn't intentional at all.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's the big show for this week. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll take an extended break, and we'll see you all in a week.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.